back in 2012, VBlank Entertainment made one of my favorite games last gen, Retro City Rampage. After 7 years, VBlank Entertainment has finally released their new title, Shakedown Hawaii. So, is this 16-bit GTA-style game as worthy as that of RCR? Let's find out. Shakedown Hawaii has you playing as the CEO, a middle-aged entrepreneur who is starting to see his company decline heavily due to current economic trends that his company has yet to adopt to, nor compete with. His rival, Featherbottom, seems intrigued to take over the remaining assets of Feeble Corporation and put the CEO out of business for good. Throughout the game's story, you'll do whatever it takes to come back on top and furthermore, monopolize the entire island by owning everything. While in the process of doing this, the CEO will be juggling with his real-life struggles, dealing with his nitwit son Scooter, who is nothing more than a spoiled rich kid out of touch with reality, as well as various other business associates that aid in his conquest to monopolize Hawaii. The story is very well done for the most part, with only the game's ending feeling somewhat weak. There was a final boss fight, but one that didn't even feel like it due to me thinking the final boss would have been a different character. Outside of that though, the story is quite good. Shakedown Hawaii isn't so much a sequel to VBlank's Retro City Rampage, but rather a new game altogether that builds tremendously on the groundwork that RCR created. Instead of an 8-bit GTA-style game that had countless gaming references from that era, Shakedown Hawaii is a 16-bit GTA-style game that focuses heavily on current economic trends and does a fantastic job poking fun at it. Gameplay is very much reminiscent of RCR though, with the top-down view, twin-stick shooting mechanics, although you can also fire with one of the face buttons on the controller with an auto lock-on. You can cause havoc in the city, steal vehicles, and enter countless buildings to explore. However, what differs drastically from RCR is the shakedown mechanic. As mentioned, Shakedown Hawaii is all about taking over the businesses on the island. There are 83 businesses you can shake down, and these are simply initiated by walking into the business and conversing with the worker behind the counter. You mentioned about how their business could use protection and the worker will naturally get defensive. In each shakedown, there are different scenarios to actually overtake the business. These range from breaking store shelves, facing off against prior protective services, or making customers uncomfortable. They're quick events, but they're really addictive to tackle. There's something about taking over the businesses that's just so satisfying. The game's core story missions also provide a nice variety, much like RCR did. The missions are perfect for quick pick up and play sessions, but it's the pacing that truly makes it near impossible to put down. Each mission is a blast to play, where you feel a good sense of progress in your island takeover. The story segments in between missions are also quite enjoyable, with some great comical moments that nail some current trends, requiring day one updates, online shopping, printer ink, you will take control of 3 characters throughout the course of the story: the CEO, his son Scooter, and Al. It's a bit reminiscent of GTA 5's 3-character structure, just not as complex, as all the characters do play exactly the same. You can switch between the characters at any time while free roaming though. As you complete missions, you will start getting access to acquiring more businesses. Here, you can access the map and see what's for sale to purchase. Also, you will unlock multipliers to invest into your own businesses. These range from providing credit card services, to having independent studies, to advertisements. Purchasing these increases the amount of revenue that company brings in for you. At the end of a day, you get daily revenue. When you start the game, it won't be much, but as you continue to take over more, you get millions of dollars a day. There's something so engaging about seeing those numbers go up, getting to a point where I felt unstoppable, bringing in $25 million plus a day. Now, if only I could make that kind of money in real life. Even if it's a fraction of that, once a year. Anyway, additionally, on top of the game's world and story mode, the game does have arcade challenges like that of RCR. These are found around the city, but can also be accessed from the main menu. There are score challenges and weapon challenges that are very entertaining for the most part as well. Upon beating the game, you can also revisit any of the game's 126 story missions. There were rare instances where I actually ran into triggering glitches. Throughout my entire playthrough, there was one instance during a shakedown where the enemies I needed to fight never spawned and I needed to restart the mission for the trigger to kick in properly. There was also an instance where a cutscene glitched for the start of a mission and I had to quit out of the game to the Switch user interface and then load the game again. Outside of these rare instances though, the game is very well polished. Visually, Shakedown Hawaii is a fantastic 16-bit looking game. The pixel art is very well done and smoothly animated, and all runs at a locked 60 frames per second. The island is nicely detailed and is inviting for you to want to explore every nook and cranny. Overall, the visuals do an excellent job keeping you immersed into the game's 16-bit world. In terms of audio, Matt Norman Rad Creamer returns as the sole composer for this installment, and provides one of, if not the best soundtrack of 2019. Providing strong, powerful 16-bit style tunes while giving off some 80s vibes, the game's soundtrack is an absolute masterpiece. Throughout my entire playthrough, the music enriches the overall experience. It truly captures the game's setting and essence in such a way that is rare nowadays. Sound effects are also excellent, utilizing some of the effects from RCR as well as new effects to match the 16-bit era. The audio package overall is perfection, and cannot stress enough to crank up that volume when you're playing it. Shakedown Hawaii is not only a fantastic follow-up to 2012's retro City Rampage, it's one of the best games of 2019. The beautiful 16-bit pixel art, sublime soundtrack, addictive gameplay, it all culminates into a package that's simply unforgettable. The whole Shakedown concept, taking over the island, and seeing your numbers rolling in the more you own and invest is immensely gratifying. VBlank Entertainment has another knockout title that is an absolute must-own for any Switch, PS4, and X1 owner. That's why I'm giving Shakedown Hawaii a 9.5 out of 10.